Well, today I've got a really special time for you. I'm going to invite you into a family conversation with two of my cousins that I love so much, and we've done years of family and raising kids, and we're going to share a little conversation because Mother's Day is on its way. So I want to welcome Heather Rodin, not only my cousin, but she's an author and a speaker and executive director of a mission in Haiti, and her daughter, Becki Baxter, who's a mom of four boys. That's what you're most famous for, Becki.
Yeah.
Blogger, writer. Thanks so much for being with me today. We don't want to give away all the family stories, but quickly
Mhm.
tell us then, Heather, you first. How many kids do you have? How many years of experience of mothering do you have?
I have six children. They are all married. I had 21 years of preschoolers. I
Wow.
now have 13 grandchildren, and I believe there will be more to come. So we have a full house, and it is a lot of fun.
Yeah. 21 years of preschoolers. Just sit on that for a minute. Now, Becki, what about you? What are the ages of your kids?
So I have four boys. They are 8, 6, 3, and almost 1.
Well, you don't have a dull moment to deal with, do you, Beck?
No, I definitely do not. And they're begging for a dog, and it's not happening anytime soon.
Oh, wow. Well, I'll be a mom in this conversation. I have three kids. As you guys know, they're all grown adults now. Two of them are married, and I have three little baby girls as my granddaughters. So I'm starting to catch up to you, Heather, but not quite. Okay, we've done so many things together as family because we have cottages beside each other. So our kids have gotten in trouble together. Becki, I remember you growing up, and
Yeah.
we could tell a lot of stories, but why don't we start with this? Your favorite thing about being a mom? We'll start with the positive. Becki, do you want to go first?
My favorite thing. Well, the kids just keep things interesting. They definitely don't
Yeah.
let me ever get bored. And so we have to get really creative in our house in how we deal with pretty much everything. So I would say, um, as they get older, my favorite thing is going out and doing activities, which is hard when they're little. So I'm enjoying it more and more.
Yeah, that's good. What about
Yeah.
you, Heather? Favorite thing for, many years of
Okay.
being a mom?
Well, because I'm at a different stage than Becki right now, I would say my favorite thing is the fun we have together as a family, and watching these kids who used to scrap and fight now love each other and enjoy being together. That is a joy.
I agree with you too. I mean, my kids now being grown up, I think I enjoy my friendship with my kids now. Like you're more on
Yeah.
that friend level and coaching when asked, right? Okay, what is the most challenging thing about being a mom? Becki, we'll let you go first because we know you're in the thick of it, right? You probably
Yeah,
can list a few challenges.
I'm much more comfortable with this question because I feel like that's a lot more of our experience right now. I would say the most challenging thing is really managing behaviors because my boys are still so young. We get a lot of fighting, a lot of wrestling, and so that would be, I think, the number one thing, especially in this quarantine time. It's just kind of heightened all of those experiences. So that would be mine.
For sure. I love your blog and I love how real you are in posting on Instagram, your real family moments.
Oh, yes.
And Sean,
Yeah.
your husband, yeah.
Yeah.
Heather, what about you? What's been it's the most challenging thing for you as a mom?
Well, I am going to be quite honest and say that control has always been an issue for me because being a mom of six and having to immediately figure out how to solve all the problems all the time, it was getting difficult to give them over to God. And I remember one day praying, God stopped me and said, "You're praying answers. What I want you to do is hold your hands open when you pray because your grasping control is keeping me from doing what I want to do." So my most challenging thing now is when I lift my kids up to God in prayer is saying, God, I pray your will and your purpose instead of mine.
Oh, that's good, Heather. I can relate to that control. I would say for me, it's the fix it thing. Like, I just want to fix things for my kids. And I've had to learn to release that to God because my idea of fixing isn't necessarily God's way of fixing. And it's been
Oh,
beautiful
that's
to see do that, right? He does such a better work than a mom can do. How has being a mom changed you, Becki?
Well, I used to be pretty well put together and I used to be organized and I used to be a lot of things that really just don't happen too much anymore. So I think just the whole idea of wanting to be perfect, striving for that perfection, trying to have things even look like they're together, that's really changed. And that's something that God continues to bring me through. It's a lesson I'm constantly learning. You want people to come to your house and see it all put together, or you want to put the pretty pictures on Instagram, but just the reality is that life is not perfect. And I'm reminded that God actually uses my imperfections to do his will. And so that is the lesson I need to keep learning. Um, yeah, so that I think is the biggest thing.
That's good. That's good. Heather, you've been a mom many years. What has changed you, do you think, the most in being a mom?
Well, I would have to say that learning that sacrifice brings blessing. Sacrifice
Mm.
does not always come easily, and putting yourself first as human, putting yourself last behind all the needs and the desires and the care of your kids, that is difficult. But I've learned that that has tremendous reward, and God honors that.
That's so good. I would say myself too that sacrifice and teaching not to be selfish, like being a mom, has made me not completely unselfish, but definitely the selfishness. It kind of kicks it right out of you, when you are loving on other people for sure. How is it your relationship with God helped you as a mom, Heather?
I don't think I could do this without my relationship with God. Starting my day, even as a really young mom with little kids, when I could just steal 5 or 10 minutes in the morning before they were up, changed my day and changed the whole direction of my day and brought hope and peace and joy, the things that I needed to start with because they didn't last that long. But starting my day with God gave me a better chance at getting through the day and honoring Him and just taking my kids and their issues to God and laying them at His feet. It's such a burden lifter. Like, I don't have
Yes.
to carry that burden. I can take it to God. He's got this.
Yeah.
He created them for a purpose and a plan. And I just trust in
Yeah.
that. What a freeing thing.
So that is so true. I think for me too, it's just knowing God actually loves my kids more than I am capable of loving them.
Yeah.
And that frees me up to release them over to a God who loves them. Becki, what about you? How has your relationship with God helped you as a mom?
Yeah, I think it definitely is the foundation of being able to make it through the day. Like right now, there have been some pretty hard days. We don't have our regular outlets, we don't have our community that we're used to. And so I think really leaning into just letting God kind of fill those gaps for me, or understanding his grace when I lose my temper or when I fall short, and just understanding that my imperfection is okay. Like he has me, his power is made perfect through my weakness. And that seems to be something that is growing in me with every year of parenting. Just understanding that
Yeah.
better and better. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a good God who loves us, cares for us while we're caring for others, right? Just as we close here, what final maybe advice or encouragement do you have for other moms out there? Heather, I'll let you start.
Wow, that's a challenge. Advice, just walk with the Lord. Know that you have been called to this. This is the greatest calling on earth. Know that God has called you, but also equipped you for this. So even if there are days that you struggle and it doesn't come together, don't worry. You've got tomorrow. And God has got the tomorrows if you give them to Him. So just trusting in the Lord.
Yeah, that's really good, Heather. What about you, Becki? What encouragement would you want to leave with our viewers?
I would say just remember that there's life in our words. And I think that when we speak out things, especially when we're having a bad moment or there's a meltdown happening, what we say can actually turn things around. We know in Proverbs that life and death is in the power of the tongue. And so something I've learned to do is that when I need to declare, no, we're turning our day around right here. No, I'm not overwhelmed. I can do this with God's strength. And I think just the simplicity of our words and using them to actually build life into our day instead of letting them kind of take us down the spiral has been my biggest encouragement and something I have needed the most. So that would be my encouragement to you, to just make sure your words are bringing life over your kids and over yourself, because we are our own worst critics. So just give yourself some grace and speak some life over yourself.
Wow. Great words of advice and encouragement. And I know you both partnered together to write this great resource, Appointed. It's a journaling devotional for moms of littles, 31 days. And if you want to find this book from Becki and Heather, go to Amazon, tell us where to go, Becki, again, where they find it.
Yeah, you're actually not going to go to Amazon. You're going to go to appointeddevotional.com and you can order it right from there.
That's great. We'll put the link on our website, 700club.ca. Thank you so much for being with us. Love you both. Look forward to many more years sharing in our mom experience. Appreciate you, and happy Mother's Day soon. Up next, we have a powerful story of how God gave Antonina a hope and a future.